Hey guys, on today's episode, we're going to take a look at Darth Maul, Age of the Republic. Last episode, we took a look at Obi-Wan, so of course, now we had to take a look at Darth Maul. I really enjoyed this issue too for the Age of the Republic, so let's get started. So first off, I'm just gonna give you guys the main characters that were introduced or were shown in this issue, the main locations that were used during the whole issues like that. You guys can follow along with the story, and I also showed some of the little stuff that were introduced here that we saw in previous other stories or canon media, and I just threw them in there so you guys understood more about them. So first of all, let's just start off with the characters. Obviously, we have Darth Maul. He is the main character in this issue. We're also gonna see Darth Sidious. Darth Sidious, obviously his master. We're gonna see him. We're gonna see him for some time at the second half of the issue. Time place. This takes time, obviously, before the Phantom Menace, before their plan is going in execution. So the next character we follow is Zek. Zek is gonna be the main part of the story we follow at the beginning, and we'll get that started. But he's the main he's the scoundrel from the lower levels of Coruscant. Then we do get mentions of Eldra Cadis. Eldra Cadis, if you guys don't know, is a young Padawan that Darth Maul killed in some of his previous issues. He mentions it in this issue. So she's the first Padawan, the first Jedi Darth Maul actually kills, I believe. I think I'm pretty sure she is the first Jedi that Darth Maul ever killed. So here we saw her in the previous Marvel Comics, Darth Maul, the comic series that came out in 2016, I believe. Darth Maul, let's take a look. Came out in 2017. So she was introduced there. Darth Maul uses her name to create a cartel uses her name and creates a cartel for the lower levels of Coruscant, and uses the name Cadis just as a petty move against the Jedi, right? So here we know who she is. She doesn't show up in this comic book, but Darth Maul uses her name, and just so you guys have some backstory on her. I'll probably do a review on that issue later on. I haven't read it. I read it about a year ago, but it's just Darth Maul is a very great character to even reread the same those comic books. So then the location, obviously, I mentioned we're gonna see Coruscant lower levels. This is where the first half of the issue takes place. We're gonna see Coruscant's upper level for a few slides where we see Sidious and Darth Maul talk, but most of the time it's the lower levels. And for all those that know, right, the lower levels is where all the crime happens. And this is pretty cool. We're gonna see Malachor. Malachor is this place in Malachor. There is the Temple of Malachor, which is this Sith temple. If you guys seen Rebels, it was introduced in Rebels. This was where a big, huge fight of Jedi against Sith happened when the Sith created this amazing super weapon. Obviously, the Jedi stopped it, but it was a huge massacre and a huge battle. We also see it again in Rebels. In Rebels, it shows up. This is the part where Darth Vader and Ahsoka end up fighting. And here we obviously see some more here. So Malachor, I'm glad that we're seeing this again, and I'm pretty sure it was also shown in the Darth Maul issues previous, because Darth Maul went here for some of his training, and obviously he's gonna go back for more of his training. So now that we know exactly what's going on, when it's happening, who are the main characters, let's get started with the issue. All right, we follow here at Coruscant's lower level. Darth Maul has hired this Chondro, because he hears a lot about this guy. They say his abilities are crazy good, and at this moment, Darth Maul, he cannot fight any Jedi's, right? His master has forbidden him from introducing the Sith, right? At the moment, they're still in hiding. They're still just getting the plans together. So Darth Maul is getting antsy, and he has all this rage built up to attack these preys. So he, after killing that Padawan, he wants to find more, but obviously his master does not allow him. So instead, he starts to look for force-sensitive users, and he starts to fight them to hopefully crave his rage or his hunger for fighting stronger warriors. So he hires this guy on this contra to get some spices, right? He hires him as some cartel, and like I mentioned, he makes a fake cartel name based on the Padawan that I introduced earlier in this episode. So right, we don't see the Padawan, but just a little keynote for you guys, just something small that was introduced in here. So throughout the story, Darth Maul, it goes pretty fast. It's not very more action than everything, but throughout the time, Darth Maul tries to test this guy's sec to make sure he's force sensitive, and he just does random stuff that normal people that are not used to the force can predict. But we can see for Sec has good senses, and during a fight, Maul can sense the force around him. Here he says the force, I can sense it moving around him, but obviously he has no training on it, so it's pretty clumsy of it. He lacks training. So he determines that he has force. He is force sensitive, but at the end, Darth Maul ends up killing this guy like it's nothing. He destroys him, and obviously he kills him in one swoop. He doesn't even fight him. He just uses the force, and he throws something and he stabs him. So this is pretty crazy. I mean, for all this, Darth Maul didn't even get to fight, and I'm pretty sure it didn't crave his energy, his rage, or his lust for a bigger prey. Darth Sidious comes out and he starts to not punish but scold Maul, and he's telling him that he's foolish because he's gonna start he's gonna get attention of the Jedi. He's gonna attract the attention of the Jedi. Darth Maul counterattacks and says that he was careful, that he didn't even use a lightsaber. He didn't do anything that can track them back to it. At the end, Darth Maul mentions that his bloodlust was not filled. So in return, Darth Sidious takes him and wants to teach him patience. He wants to teach him patience, right? Because right now he knows Darth Maul is strong, but he lacks patience, and that's what he's trying to teaches his apprentice. So they end up going here. We get to see, so we do see her. So this is the battle of when he fights Eldra Cadus, the Padawan. We can see he beats her like nothing as well. I actually now want to go back and read this issue again to remember how the fight goes on. So again here, now they end up in Malachor, and they end up in Malachor, which I mentioned, right, is this amazing Sith temple. We can see Malachor has been a place that they've gone before. We can see here we have young Darth Maul being trained by Darth Sidious. And here, like I mentioned, right, this was a place where Sith and Jedi fought many years ago. And this is where Darth Sidious showed Darth Maul the evils of the Jedi and why the Jedi are a lie. So this just ends up getting pretty weird. Darth Maul ends up eating the ashes of some fallen Sith and starts to have visions of the dark side. The funny thing is, the vision he has is Darth Maul as a Jedi. He starts becoming a Jedi, and some family asks him for help. Darth Maul does not kill this guy, the monster, out of saving the guy. He just wants a huge prey to fight. So he ends up killing the monster. The family ends up praising Darth Maul because he is a Jedi. So eventually Darth Maul ends up in family dinner. Everybody's so happy for him. Darth Maul, he remembers he is no Jedi, and he ends up just killing the whole family. You can see, right, Darth Maul, he is as evil as ever, and he has such a mind, right, that the Jedi are a lie told to a desperate galaxy. So after Darth Maul strikes down the family, he gets attacked. He gets a shadow Jedi, and this is pretty cool, right? We get to see again in the Rebels. If you haven't seen Rebels, it's definitely a good series to watch. After season 1, it becomes a lot better. But here we can see these Jedis that Darth Kylo Ren has. I don't even know why I call him this. He doesn't have a Darth name, right? So we get to see Kylo Ren's type lightsaber, where the crystal is so unpredictable that it has to unleash the energy on the other sides. I wonder if during this time they still hadn't mastered all the crystals, so a lot of the crystals were probably too powerful and to control. So we see a lot of Jedi's lightsabers like this in previous in during that episode. So Darth Maul strikes him down, but then all these Jedi's come out of nowhere when there's only one single Sith, and Darth Sidious is happy that what his apprentice did, and he asks his apprentice what did he learn, and he said he learned many things, but the most important thing is that rage is not enough to stop the Jedi. They have numbers on them, and they have to end the faith of the Republic. And they first must destroy those before they can destroy the Jedi. And obviously, in due time, Darth Sidious says the Jedi will both lose the number and the faith of the Republic. And that's what makes Darth Sidious a monster, because he was able to do this plan flawlessly and able to destroy both the numbers and the faith of the Republic against the Jedi. So then we see the end of the story, and Darth Sidious just reminds Darth Maul that he is his master and no one else. And Darth Maul is a great servant at this time. So that's it. That's the issue of Darth Maul. Like I said, I really enjoyed the story. I'm really enjoying these one issues of Age of the Republic. So I started something new in this episode. I started off with showing you guys some of the cool parts we saw in the story before actually going to the story. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and those small little takeaways, like talking about Malachor or the Jedi, the Twilight Jedi, Eldra Cadis. All right, so let me know if you guys enjoyed that part of the show, so like that I can continue to do it. But again, don't forget to subscribe, guys. I'm enjoying reading these comics and presenting them to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy them.